Hi there, I just wanted to make a quick video to give you a little update about the news release assignment. There's lots of examples available online of how to write a news release, and basically they all sort of capture the same structure. They have changed a little bit now that most of them are hosted online and not really printed and sent out to newsrooms. But still, the basic foundation of most news releases is still the same. So I'll give you an example of one. It starts right here. The first thing that you want to do is have some sort of uh, a title that captures the audience's attention, the reader's attention. Usually, you want to try and avoid being too cute, too funny. You want to just stick straight to the facts. It's okay that if you're using something that's a little clever, but for the most part, your title should just identify to the reader what's going to be in the article that they're about to read. The next thing that you want to do is identify where it's being written and the date that it's written. And then the first paragraph that you're going to be writing goes directly into the who, what, when, why, where, and how. So it answers all of the most important details in the first short paragraph of any news release. Obviously, you want to get right to the point. A lot of people don't have that long of an attention span, so you want to give them the most important information up front. Since this is an online press release, you can see they've included some multimedia. That's not what you need for your assignment, but just something to keep in mind if you're creating these in a work environment. And then you can see here a little bit more information, a little bit more detail. If the first paragraph was mentioning the most important information, this is some extra detail that people might be interested in if they're looking to write a story. If a reporter takes a look at your press release and is looking to expand upon it and make it part of an existing story, you want to be able to provide them with a little bit more detail. So you can see that they've got a little bit more detail in here. This is a background story about the person who the press release is about. So this is a good way to make it personal. I always tell students the best thing that you can do for your press release is really try and identify what the story is that's being told. Really try and appeal to emotion, appeal to passion, appeal to somebody's sense of logic, appeal to somebody's sense of saving money, of helping them with a problem. You really want to figure out what is it that's the story in this. So for a lot of small businesses or organizations, the best press releases are them connecting in the community or contain examples of them helping with a charity. So something that's beneficial to the community, to the municipality, to the province, something that's beneficial to society as a whole. Another thing that almost every news release includes is a quote. So you're picking for your assignment, you're picking somebody that's important within the organization and asking them to provide a quote. Now, for this assignment, you're just making up the quote. You can make up the person and you can make up the quote. But for a press release, a news release, almost always there's some sort of quote in there. And that gives it that sense of personality. It allows the organization to have somebody express a little bit about the vibe and the style and the tone through a quote. And then at the end, you're just sort of wrapping up, providing some extra detail as well. And then you can see this part as well provides a little bit of detail. So unless you're a major organization, most press releases will include a little bit of information at the bottom about the company, about the organization, or about the person who is doing the press release. So just in case somebody is getting the press release and they really don't know even the basic information about the organization, this is a good way to explain that and provide some context for the press release as a whole. So, a lot of press releases look a little bit different, but the strategy is the same. It's to organize the information in a coherent manner, in a way that makes sense, in a way that somebody could take this news release and create a larger story out of it, is often the case. But also, news releases act as a story on their own. So, oftentimes, news releases will get printed verbatim, meaning word for word. If it's well written enough, then sometimes newspapers will just print it as it is because it's well written enough. So, focus on the story, have a good headline, give a little bit of information about who is writing the press release and a little bit of information about the organization. You want to make sure you include a quote from somebody important. And if you've got all of those elements and you've got a well written, brief, concise news release, you should do very well. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate.